In this English lesson, I wanted to help you learn the English phrase, haste makes waste. This is an English saying, you could even call it an English proverb, that means that if you do something really quickly, it's not always the best way to do it. Sometimes haste makes waste. When I was younger, I worked for my uncle and we built houses. And I know that sometimes we carefully cut the wood to build the house because we knew if we went too fast, if there was a lot of haste, we also had a lot of waste. That means if we worked quickly, we wouldn't always cut things the right length, and then that piece of wood would be kind of useless for building the house. By the way, we always had a saying, measure twice, cut once, when we were building houses. I think that's another good saying. So anyways, when you say haste makes waste, it means that when you do something really fast, you're probably going to be inefficient and maybe even create some waste while you're doing it. The second phrase I wanted to teach you today is another old phrase or saying or proverb, and that is waste not, want not. My mom used to say this a lot when I was a kid. When I came home from school, if I hadn't eaten my lunch and if the banana had gotten mushed or the apple was no longer good to eat because I had sat on my book bag on the bus, she would say, hey, waste not, want not. And basically what this phrase means is if you don't waste anything in life, if you are good at using all of your groceries and everything you buy, you will probably not want a lot of things in your life. Basically, that's not quite what I mean to say. When you don't waste things, you actually save money. That's basically what the phrase means. So when you don't waste, it's like you're saving money at the same time, because if you do waste things, you end up spending more money. Hopefully that made some sense. Anyways, to review, haste makes waste simply means if you do something fast, you might do it inefficiently and you might actually waste some things. And waste not, want not means that if you make sure you don't waste things, you will actually be better off financially, I guess, in terms of money. But hey, let's look at a comment from a previous video. This comment is from Andrew. The comment is this. We have an absolutely identical phrase in Russian to freeze your butt off. I can elaborate on the topic. As an expert at freezing, I can testify. Yes, in winter, if you sit in the snow or on ice, steel, etc., the first part that freezes off is your buttock. In the standing position, it can happen when your jacket is short, but often it is your hands and feet that suffer first. Walking can help warm your feet. Plus, putting hands into your armpits, definitely. Crisscrossed will save them. Men should consider another item. Also, your face, especially your nose and cheekbone areas, gets a severe cold blow if uncovered and exposed to cold, windy conditions. My response, that's why I like having a longer winter coat that covers the small of my back and my butt. My current coat is a bit too short. It doesn't quite go down long enough. It really helps to stay warm when you have a longer one. So a lot of information for those of you who maybe don't know a lot about living in a colder climate. I'm going to turn slowly and I'm going to spin you around to show you that we are starting to have a nice carpet of leaves on the ground. It's a really nice time here in Ontario, Canada. Things are starting to look quite nice. And the leaves are starting to fall. You might have even seen some leaves falling as I was teaching the lesson. That's quite possible. I know when I was walking outside to do it, a few leaves were falling off the trees. Anyways, a little lesson on waste and haste and wants, a little lesson on how to buy a good winter coat, and as always, a little bit of a view of the outdoors. See you in a couple days with another short English lesson. Bye.